Good morning and welcome to episode 73 of Take a Break with me, Andrew Reid. No Adam today. He is slacking. No, that's unfair. He's not slacking. He's a very, 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 very busy boy. However, I've got a very special guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Donna Gurney, wife to Jason Gurney, who's very popular apparently.
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
Shh, not on air.
Oh, God, I hope he doesn't watch this, you know.
He won't. He never listens to it.
No. So I have two companies. I've got Smampy's Corner, which is a sewing company, and then I've got the Kick, which is for volunteers to make things for St Teresa's and the NHS, and these things are needed, but the government doesn't supply them.
Wow,
So,
well, there's interesting.
I took on a mammoth task last year.
You certainly did.
Yeah.
And you're now part of the Business Darlington community. You're in our offices.
I am.
Downstairs.
I am. I know, in my messy little office.
It's
different.
Full.
Yes. That's what happens when you have to downsize. So my old offices, I had two massive rooms, probably the size of this studio.
Yes, it probably was,
and I've
wasn't
had to downsize to something half the size.
It does look compact.
Yeah, stuff everywhere.
Exactly. So which one would you like to talk about first? Smampy's or...
Should we talk about the Kick?
Let's talk about the Kick.
Because my room here is So Happy to Help.
Yes.
Which is the Kick.
Yeah.
And
so as in S-E-W.
Oh, of course.
A clever play on words, Donna. A clever play on words.
I know, dyslexia is great, you know. Yeah, so that started last May.
Right.
Well, I actually applied to become a Kick last May. So I had a student who was a St Teresa's nurse.
Right.
Called Sheila, and she'd come for sewing lessons. And the second lesson, she said to me, "Do you think you could help me make some catheter bag covers?"
Right.
I didn't know what she meant, so I said, "Bring one next time," and she did. So I said, "Leave it with me." When she come on the third lesson, I'd made a pattern, made a few, and told her to take them back to St Teresa's to see if they were suitable.
You clever clogs.
I know. Well, it's pointless making loads of something that doesn't fit.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, she come back again on the fourth lesson and she went, "These are great." And I said, "Well, would you like to do a sew-along?" So she's like, "Well, what's a sew-along?" And I said, "Basically..."
I like sing-along, but with needles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you get the words wrong...
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. So a sew-along, people come for a Saturday. We cut, make and finish as many of the bags or whatever it is that we're making that day, and these people take it back to their charity or business and things like that. And that's how it started, was the catheter bag covers.
Right.
Yeah. And then it just... went on and on. So I've got about 10 things now that I make.
Oh, my goodness me. And this is all for the Teresa charity or other people's charities as well? Or?
Yeah, so St Teresa's Hospice, which is just up the road,
yes.
They're for patients with palliative care.
Right.
So I make a lot of things for them. And then I make things for the memorial.
Oh, right.
And the special care baby unit, kind of.
Right.
That's for the little souls that don't make it.
Oh, bless. We'll come on to that later.
We will. So, yeah.
No, that's really good. And for the people that are watching, I apologise for the people that are listening, you've got a lovely array of things here. As I say, so I'm holding what is a beautiful heart, but it's heavy. What's it? Is this the stuff that we donate to you?
That just so happens to be.
Well, would you credit it?
I know. So Resilience are brilliant because they donate and supply me with lots and lots of bags of wheat.
Yes.
And so I make a lot of wheat microwave bags that get donated.
These are beautiful heart-shaped bags.
Yeah, they are.
What are they used for?
Right, so they go in the microwave and get warmed up, and it's like a water bottle with no water.
Aha, clever, clever, clever.
Yeah, so what started that off was I was asked if I could make some for Alzheimer's patients because they're not allowed hot water bottles.
Well, we're learning new things every day.
Well, other departments find out what you've done and they need them too.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and obviously here I've got rent to pay, so yourself and my lovely Michelle said you can make as many as you want and you can sell them to help pay the rent.
Yes, exactly.
So I do that too. So this is a a bag that's made with love in a Cath Kidston fabric. Now, I would sell that for £5 just so it goes in the pot to pay the rent.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, and you've said that's fine.
Yeah.
All good. And this one's Ant Floor. This one's really, really popular. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about Ant Floor.
You probably are. There's no limit on this.
Can we talk about Ant Floor?
Yeah, I think we shall do.
Right, so Ant Floor was designed for ladies with period pains, endometriosis, constipation,
Right.
And for anybody that has a bad back, shoulders.
Right.
So this is a wheat bag and it's designed in segments, so
Okay.
it's weighted just right to stay where it needs to be.
We shall say no more about that, but I know where you are.
Exactly. So a lot of people are on computers, such as
Yeah.
yourself, and you get the pain and they'll say, oh, it's my neck. It's not your neck, it's the pad at the top of your spine.
Right.
So this was devised to go in the microwave, obviously, first for 3 minutes, give it a shake, and then you put it on, and it lies there, and it doesn't fall off, and you can carry on doing your work, wherever it is.
Okay, so just for our listeners, you've draped it around your neck.
It comes around your neck.
It's shaped with 2 arms, and it's got what I call a triangle.
Yes.
And it's that sits right at the top of your spine.
Yes,
Right,
and
got
warms
ya.
that horrible part of your neck that's not your neck.
Yes, exactly, because everybody thinks it's their neck.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
So that's for anybody, basically. And then the lady side of it
Is the opposite.
it goes on the other end.
It just goes on the other end, but it lays
Yeah.
across the lap, and
It
the
goes
triangle
across the
helps.
across the lap like so.
Yeah,
And it's nice and warm, and warmth soothes and heals.
of course it does.
And it's got this little tiny point here that
Yeah.
sits in the twinkly bits.
Yes, exactly, and warms that.
And I've had such great reviews on it.
Oh, I'm not
Sold
surprised.
quite a few, which is great.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So these are £27 each if anybody wants to buy one and help
Yeah.
my cause.
Helps your cause. And again, that all goes in the kitty.
It does. It all goes
help.
to pay the rent.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So how on earth did you get into the fact that, or how let me rephrase that. How on earth did you find out that you could sew so well? That was hard for me to say.
Right, that goes all the way back to me being 16.
Oh, my goodness me. You mean 2 years ago?
That's the one.
Flatter, flatter.
Yeah. So when I left school, I went into hair and beauty.
Right.
And I got taken on at a salon, and the salon closed, and I was made redundant. And my boyfriend's mum at the time was the tailoress at Affleck and Moffat.
Why do I know that name?
It's the gents' outfitters in the town on Duke
That's it.
Street.
That's the one. That's why I know it.
Yeah, so Jill Roberts, lots of people know her. So she said, I'll teach you to sew. So she had a word with Richard Crossland, who said, yes, she can come and you can learn her. So I started work at Affleck and Moffat as an apprentice, and that's where the sewing started.
Yeah.
So I started in tailoring, then went into learning dressmaking, then alterations. Then I left that side of sewing and I went to learn soft furnishing, so your curtains, loose covers, scatter cushions, all of that. And then I trained in upholstery as well, which meant I could take someone's 3-piece suite back to the bones, the wood, and rebuild it.
Oh, so far, so good.
Yeah, so that took me, so far, so good. Yeah, so that took me up to the age...
Alina laughed.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. Took me up to the age of about 27, and then I started my own company called Don Dons.
Don Dons.
Well, my mum and dad used to call me Don Don, and once I'd named the company and I got my business card, I thought, it sounds like I should be doing one of those balloon dances. Doesn't it sound like a candy shop or something childish?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, so I did that for 7 years, and then I got poorly.
Oh, yes, bless. We know about
I
that.
did.
Oh,
I did.
dear.
And I had 4 years off, which was fantastic. And I'd never been allowed to be a mum because I would have the others and you'd get your maternity leave. And being self-employed, as you know, you've got to pay the bills, so it was straight back to work.
Right,
Where when I had Tabitha, I had like all this time off.
All this time off. But that must have been good for you as well because it allows you to take stock, understand where you want to go. Obviously, was Don Don still running or did you have to close the business?
No, I closed that.
You closed that down?
I closed that, so I was literally a mum.
Oh, right, okay. So you that was good. Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then what triggered you or what urged you to get back into it?
Right. So Tabitha, little girl, now 2 or 3 year old, starts playing with dolls.
Yeah.
And she would take the clothes off them. So I still had all my machines and everything. So I started making dolls' clothes, thinking, well, if they were nicer, she might leave them on. And it didn't matter what I made. It got taken off. And then friends were like, can you make them for my dolls? So I started doing that. Then I went on to eBay and I was a dolly tailor. So there was 4 of us in the UK at the time. Now there's hundreds.
Yeah.
So there was 4 of us and I ended up tailoring for reborn dolls. So my tailoring skills that I'd learned to begin with were now downsized to make outfits for reborn dolls.
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know what a reborn doll is, it's a doll that's been designed by an artist. Some people find them creepy, which is fair enough. Each to your own.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I hated dolls as a kid, believe it or not. Yeah, so where they'll create a baby doll for somebody. Now, this might be for a family that's lost a little one.
Yeah.
And they'll send the artist a photograph of the baby they would like their doll to look like.
Reborn.
Some people just can't have babies, so they have them, and then other people collect them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might be walking around the shops and someone will pass you with a pram, and you never know, that could be a doll in there.
Absolutely.
Because they're so lifelike.
Yeah.
You know, the artist, she'll put the eyelashes in one at a time, the hair follicles one at a time.
Goodness me.
And there's lots and lots of time spent making these beautiful, strange dolls.
Yeah.
That people pay a lot of money for them and they don't want something from your local shop on the doll. So they would contact a dolly tailor, such as myself.
Yeah.
Conversations of, you know, is it a girl, a boy, pink, blue, lace or not, frilly, and we'd come up with a description of what they wanted, and then I would email them the form so they could take the measurements off their doll, like as though I was making you a suit.
Yeah, of course.
So this is off a doll, and then I would tailor an outfit and take a picture of it on one of my models, and they'd say yay or nay, and if it was a yay, which most of the time it was, thank goodness.
Yes, thank goodness for that.
They got posted all over the world.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah.
So where's the furthest you've posted?
I'm not very good at geography.
No, but just name some countries.
Africa.
Oh, my goodness me, that's a few miles away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So all over. Jason's the hubby. Jason had a map, and he used to put drawing pins in the map to see where I'd made them for.
Oh, my goodness me, that's fantastic.
So I did that for a long time. And then 10 years ago, I decided to start teaching sewing lessons. So,
but again, why? What triggered you? Where's the pinpoint in your life that went, I want to pass on my skills?
Right, yeah. Right, so I'm dyslexic, bipolar, and
beautiful.
That's the one, thank you.
Thank you, exactly.
Yeah. So my sister was a teacher, and she would say, you know so much. You know, you can tailor, you can upholster, you can do da. You're great with kids.
Yeah.
You should teach sewing classes. And I was like, I'm dyslexic, Sam. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. And I went, I can't. So my mum and dad died, and they left me some money. And Sam went, do it. Take what you've got.
Yes.
Kick yourself out. So we took a building on Woodlands Road, and I had a huge room, and with the money off my mum and dad, I kitted it all out with desks, tables, sewing machines, and it just went from there.
Oh.
And originally I was wanting to do like 6 people at a time as a classroom, but I found it didn't work for me.
All right, okay.
So when you have these courses, and you'll see them advertised, you know, 1-day bag making, 8 positions, and you put your name down and you go, there's always somebody that can't really sew.
Right.
And they don't keep up with the rest of the class, and they don't understand what you're saying. And it's these students that I decided to stick with.
Yeah, of course.
So then the classroom became one-to-one students,
right,
which is more personal. You know, it's their lesson, it's their time. And that's how it's been ever since.
So Is that when I see? Because obviously, I run into you downstairs, but obviously I do see you with some young people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Is that the one-on-ones that you're doing with them? You do that here?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay then.
So I have children from 8 to adults that are 88. So I cover it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the little ones, the under teens, I call dolly tailors.
Well, and why not?
Yeah, and when they come, like I say, the youngest's 8, but they are, if they want, to bring their doll or their teddy.
Right, yeah.
And we do a dolly tailor class.
Lovely.
So that's where Smampy comes. So
Yes,
this
hello.
is Smampy.
Smampy.
Smile for the camera.
Smampy
She's
the camera.
the original. She's tatty as anything.
Okay, so can I just hold for the people that are listening? It's a lovely doll. It's got a tape measure.
It does. That's her tape measure.
Wrapped around her, she's wearing a pink spotted dress, a paint. Well, I was going to say drawn and lovely face.
It is drawn.
And wavy, unkept hair. I'm going to say that. But she's got a lovely love heart underneath it, and it says Smampy.
It does. And if you look at the back, you'll see words.
Oh gosh, I can't know.
So
Bust, shoulder, arm. Oh, I'm with you. Elbow, wrist. Oh, I see. So you're pointing out the anatomy of the doll.
Yeah.
Ah.
So we have a sheet each, and on the sheet of paper there is a doll drawn.
Okay.
So I'll get Smampy, and they'll get their doll, and I'll say, right, let's measure the neck.
Yeah.
So obviously mine says neck. If they can read, that's great. If not, they just copy.
Yes, of
so
course.
So they write all the measurements down of their doll.
Yeah.
And then we sew something simple, like a skirt.
Yeah, I mean, that
but
is
they
a very...
do it all from their measurements, and like I say, that's your under teens.
Yes.
Then I have my teeny boppers, which are my, my after school girls, and they come because they want to do textiles at college or wherever, and the schools don't always teach enough.
Yeah.
So I have one-to-ones with under 18s as well. That's after school. And then through the week, I have a variation of all sorts of different people.
Yeah.
A lot of my ladies have had problems with trying to get clothes that fit.
Right.
So I've had 3 that have had mastectomies.
Right, understand.
So they can't go to Marks and Spencer's and buy something that fits properly anymore.
No, understandable.
So they might want to learn to alter, like do your alterations, the blouse, let's say, to fit their figure, their new figure. Or they might want to learn to make items for themselves to wear.
Yes, understand.
Yeah, so they would come and we would make a calico suit. So I would literally teach them to tailor a pattern to fit their figure using the measurements and the calico suit that they've got.
Oh, very good.
So I have that. And then I have, I've had quite a lot of soldiers.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that.
Yeah. Oh. So, and it's not men and women.
Yeah.
And it's basically they are given a grant or a lump of money to retrain in something.
Yeah.
And a lot of them want to go into tailoring because obviously with the armed forces, it's all uniforms.
Yes, of course.
So tailoring in that neck of the woods is a really good thing to,
I can imagine. No, I can imagine. Because you want to look smart all the time, that's the thing. So they want the tailors to be, or their casual clothes to be at least smart as well. That's really interesting. So that must keep you really busy in terms of what you're doing. So how much of the business is, if you like, this type of for the palliative care, and how much is your Smampy?
Probably half and half.
It's half and half, right?
Yeah. So I probably work 6 days a week. 3 might be at home.
Hang on, there's only 5 days. There's only 5 working days.
That's because you get weekends off and I don't. Yeah. So I might stay at home for 3 days of the week.
Of course,
just working from the kitchen table and making a mess in the kitchen as you do.
As you do.
Yeah. So, like I say, I'm 3 days I might work at home, but I'm still here 3 days teaching.
I'm with you.
Obviously, because I've got a diary with the students and the classes in.
Yeah.
So, probably 6 days out of the week.
Goodness
Halfy.
Halfy. But I also see you sometimes stay late. So when I'm leaving at 5:30, you're person, whatever you want to call it, they're coming in.
Yeah.
So are there long days for you, or have you started a little bit later on that day?
Well, I start at 10 and finish anything up to 7
Goodness
of
me,
a
right.
night. So the later classes that you see, they're the teeny boppers.
Right, yeah.
So they come in for about 4:30.
Yeah.
And they're here till 6:30.
Okay, that's good.
And then by the time I've attempted to tidy up,
I can imagine.
yeah, it's not my best forte.
No.
Yeah, so by the time I've tidied up and everything, it's about 7:00 when I leave.
Goodness me.
Yeah, and then the dolly tailors, they come on a Sunday morning.
Right.
So I do 3 Sunday mornings a month as well.
Right.
And
You have one
that's-
Sunday off then?
Yeah, I do.
good.
Yeah, forced by Jason.
I'm not surprised, otherwise you would work 24/7.
Yeah. But there's always someone needing to learn, and
Well, that's one of the things that obviously we do know you fairly well in terms of that's one of the things that we love about you. You seem to pour all of your love and knowledge into everything.
Yeah.
And I do know that Michelle's got some wonderful stuff that you've made, the beach bag, which was just...
the Bumble Beach bag.
The Bumble Beach bag. I mean, you asked Michelle for something that was meaningful to her. You asked her about specific colours. You asked her about specific style. And the look on Michelle's face when you brought it back, it was just like, I think she was almost in tears.
Yeah.
It was but how on earth have you weaved something that somebody's told you along with like the little things that she's given you? I mean, it was just incredible.
So my head doesn't switch off.
I know that.
Yeah. I'm like a mad inventor. And if I have it in my head, right, I'll make you something. I would rather make something than buy it.
Yes.
But a lot of people think, oh, she's made it. So you have to make them really, really good. Otherwise, they're not appreciated. So obviously I'd said to Michelle, colour, book, favourite insect, favourite animal, and all the rest of it. And my little head takes this list and I'll create something that is good. Now, I knew you were going on holiday.
Yes, of course,
So
yeah.
beach bags are great.
Yeah.
But a bumble beach bag,
Yes.
because she likes bumblebees.
She does. She loves them.
So I made it out of a pair of my jeans, so the bum
Yeah,
of my jeans,
absolutely.
and then jazzed it up from there. So it had like bumblebees, and it had an orange sarong. So when
But
she
she
was on
loves
the beach,
that. Absolutely.
yeah, and there was pockets inside for her flip flops,
Yeah.
her sunglasses, and it's just, I don't know, it just makes sense to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me, and obviously, as you know, I look after your computers for you, and Jason does, because they don't make sense to you.
Oh, no,
But
no.
I look at the bag and I'm like, how on earth have you created that?
Yeah.
But that's why we all differ, and that's
Yeah.
why we get on so well.
Indeed.
So that's fantastic. So have you made lots of other custom items? Because I know Michelle, I think, is saying that we're looking to get me a waistcoat soon.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently that's looking quite good.
I do. So I do waistcoats.
Yeah.
Any colour, any size.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I've made Pac-Man waistcoats. I made a waistcoat for a mare, and it had giant keys on it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Army men, they've got fighting cocks on, because apparently that's something to do with one of their brigades.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as you know, you would bring your favourite waistcoat that
Yeah.
fits nice to me,
Yeah.
and I would keep it for the week and make a pattern of
Yeah.
what it is. Then I would sew a mock-up
Right.
in whatever I want. Yours would probably be big, pink and flowery.
Oh, thanks for that.
Bring it back and let you try it on, see if it makes your eyes sparkle. And if it fits, then you get yours back, and
Yeah.
I take your sample version,
Yeah.
and then remake it in the fabrics that you've either supplied or chosen,
Yes.
and then it all comes back to you.
Oh, and I've seen some of those results, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, I like doing them.
Oh, absolutely. That money that you get there, and I'm sorry to bring it down to commercials, but that obviously, does that again go in the pot to fund other things, or you've got to make a living out of this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So does that go to you?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So that goes to Smampy's Corner.
Yes, of course.
I'm trying to think where else I do.
No, we're going to come on to that. Yeah, we're going to come
Yeah.
on to those things. But obviously, that does for you as what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you feel as though some of your students, of all ages, have you got? May I ask, have you got some that, can I say, don't last the course, or have you got some that are just absolutely? And have you seen their skills just absolutely fly up?
Yeah. So, yes, I have people that come and they literally just want to learn how to use the sewing machine and then go away and do the rest themselves.
Right, so it could be a very short course.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It could be just one lesson.
Right.
Or then I have people that stay for 4 years. You know, so
Fabulous.
I've got both.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you must make a great friendship with them because obviously
I do.
you must see their skills and they come in and show you what they've made.
Yeah.
And again, you must be like, oh, this is just so good.
It really,
All
really
of your
is.
knowledge being poured into other people.
Yeah. So some of the teeny boppers, a couple of them are autistic
Right.
and really struggle concentrating, but they can sit with me for 2 hours and they remember everything and they're not frightened of the machine. And the two that I'm talking about, I actually got them a pass to get into Middlesbrough University.
Oh, how good does that make you feel?
That's brilliant. It's
It
brilliant.
must be.
Yeah. And then at the moment, Amelia, she's been coming for 3 years. She's just got a pass as well. However, she's designing something for her exam
Right.
before she finishes school. Now, Amelia, she draws. And
Right.
she draws mannequins of like ball gowns, shapely.
Yes, exactly.
Gorgeous, things that she does. And they were told for their exam they could do a corset, a bag, or a cushion. And all the experience that Amelia's got, she's such a high standard.
Yeah.
I thought she would have done the corset because of all these drawings.
Yeah.
No, she decided to do a bag.
Yeah.
Why did she want to do a bag? Because she saw the one I made Michelle.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So at the moment, that's what she's doing at school. She's remaking her version of Michelle's bumble bag for her exams.
Oh, I'm going to tell Michelle that. That
Yeah.
should be over the moon with that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really interesting. So in terms of everything that you do, have you found that your skills have also grown? I mean, we never stop learning, do we, Donna? We absolutely do
heck
not.
no.
So has there been any particular projects that have really challenged you?
Patchwork quilting.
Oh, my goodness me, right.
So you think if you can sew anything.
Yeah.
And obviously I've covered a lot of areas.
Shall we say, yeah.
So when it came to lockdown and we weren't allowed out, I started watching a programme on the telly and it was all about quilting and patchwork. And I thought, I can do that. And I couldn't. Honestly, it is so precise. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle.
I'm
If you don't
trying
have,
to think of it now, yeah.
if you don't have the pieces match up,
Yeah.
the whole pattern's out.
It must be because obviously you're patching each individual and sewing it together. You can imagine getting to one end and going, I've completely mucked this up.
Yeah, it's like doing a sewing crossword.
Yes,
Basically,
that's a really
everything's
good
got
point.
to line up and match. So I started doing that in lockdown. I'm still not really, really good at it, but I know the basics to
Absolutely.
teach somebody.
Yeah.
Nothing's perfect. My stuff certainly isn't.
No. but
No,
it's-
it isn't. And we have to make mistakes to learn.
We do.
We do indeed. So yes, I did that, and then I found foundation paper piecing, which is literally sewing by numbers.
Yeah.
And you're sewing on this special paper.
Yeah.
And they are like puzzles. So those two things are. I'm still not very good at them.
No.
Yeah. But it was something that I couldn't do,
Right.
if that makes sense.
No, it does. Can I ask, if you don't mind, a really personal question? In terms of your condition, you said you're dyslexic, you said you're bipolar. Does the sewing just fit for you?
Yes.
I mean, does it just I know it.
Yes.
It works. And is it your comfort thing? So you're actually not working, you're comforting yourself and it's making you feel.
Playing all day.
I love it. You're playing all day. I'm not working, I'm playing.
Yeah, I've been compared to I Love Lucy. Do you know what I mean? Lucille Ball.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's a
and
great
I'm like,
thing.
really? And they're like, yeah, that's what you like. So it's weird to see how other people see me.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm quite childish.
No, you're not exactly. Right, so moving on to other things, I can see some other lovely, lovely, lovely things on here. What's this pencil case with what looks like Smampy on it?
That is. So that's my pencil case of my dolls. So that's Smampy.
Oh, I like the fact that you've literally got the back and the front.
Exactly. And she's clothed.
She is.
Fully clothed.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, so...
You didn't make that though, did you?
No, Jason bought them for me.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were designed.
He's all right,
and
really, isn't
he's lovely.
He's lovely.
Love
And
at first sight.
Oh, bless him.
It was.
It was?
People don't believe it, but it was, yeah.
Okay. And then what about the dog?
Right, so...
Explain it for our listeners.
Right, so when a loved one dies,
Right.
and you might say, can someone make something out of my dad's shirt?
And I've seen these, yeah.
Yeah, so this was my granddad's.
Granddad's shirt.
Yeah, this was my granddad's shirt, and he's been turned into a sausage dog.
It's a very lovely sausage dog.
So this was just an example for people to see.
Yeah.
But they're for children as well.
Yes.
So people think there's only the adults that miss them.
Yeah,
and
of
there
course.
isn't. So
No.
these are for little ones, and they take them to bed. And if you squeeze him, he's crunchy.
He is crunchy.
Yeah.
So what's inside?
It's a special kind of stuffing that doesn't shrink.
So it can be washed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
So that was Granddad's shirt, and then I've embroidered.
That's buttons. Is his buttons off his shirt?
buttons on his. Yeah,
So the buttons on the shirt are his eyes.
they are. They are
And then
indeed.
what's his little nose? Is that just
Thread.
thread? But it's
Yeah.
it's very good nose.
Thank you very much.
And he has got a tail.
He does. It fell off.
You should sew that back on.
I should.
You should sew that back
Do you know
on.
anyone who can sew?
No, I have no idea. And then what about this big, beautiful pillow that we
Right,
can see
so-
here? That's definitely made of a shirt, I can tell
It
that.
is. Right, so this was my dad's shirt.
Right.
So I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can. You'll have to
So-
explain it in great detail.
Right, so I took my dad's shirt
Yeah.
and I made a square scatter cushion out of it.
Yeah.
And on the pocket, it has a quote that he'd wrote in one of my cards, because he used to come once a month and visit, but he would write to me.
Oh, I'm right.
And his saying was, "Gives a cuddle, sweetheart, love your stacks, Dad." So I traced it,
Yes.
put it on white, and I ironed it
yeah.
onto the pocket, so people can actually ask me to remake something for them, such as this, and trace a quote.
Yes.
That'll always be on it as well. Now, my dad was quite fancy, and he liked cufflinks and double cuffs.
Yes.
So that's one of his cufflinks that I managed to combine in on it, and obviously his cuff. And it's just,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
It must be lovely for those people as well, because they can always sit on it or sit next to it. And it reminds me of them. It reminds me of their loved one.
Yeah, so this one doesn't sit on my bed because
No.
that would just be strange.
But-
Dad's in the front room and Mum's in the kitchen.
No, but that's
Yeah.
lovely.
So
That
yeah.
really is nice.
And I love doing these, and I wish people would ask me to do more, but people don't know that I do them.
Well, that's the whole idea of being inviting you on the podcast, so you
Exactly.
can put
That's
it
why I
out
brought
there.
all these props.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
So,
fantastic.
yeah,
So
I do
basically,
all
anybody
sorts.
can bring a loved item or a cherished item.
Yep.
And get you to make something, and that can
Yep.
be absolutely anything.
Absolutely
it can be
anything.
a dog. It can be a pillow. It
Yeah.
can be a cushion. What else have we got?
So this is a sensory mat.
Oh, for a little child.
No, these are for people with Alzheimer's.
Oh, well, there you go.
So Alzheimer's people
Oop, knock it back.
twiddle and nip and scratch.
Yeah.
And if they're in the hospital, they pull the catheters out. So
Right.
by giving them something like this,
So this has got
twiddle.
zips.
Yeah.
It's got lots of tactile feel.
It does.
There's a scrunchy bag again. There's a zip. There's a lovely button. There's a heart-shaped button. There's a beautiful little butterfly.
Yeah,
There's
beads,
that they can
pom-poms.
crunch. There's a metal or plastic ring.
yeah, a buckle,
Buckle that moves up and down.
chain.
Buttons that they can undo.
Yeah,
And all of
yeah.
this is literally just to try and make them feel
Yeah,
better.
Yeah,
You know, and occupy them instead of pulling out the catheters, etc.
yeah, yeah. So sometimes the teeny boppers make these for me to donate to.
Aw.
So I don't make these to sell, these are made to donate.
Of course, because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and it's literally just using up scraps.
But you must get loads of them as well. And again, does the way that your mind work, you can look at this scrap and then you just see something and go, I can make something out of that.
Yes, but other people
You're
don't.
weird.
I know. Other people
lovely
don't.
way.
Yeah, other people don't see it like Jason's like, you're not keeping this piece of ribbon. That piece of ribbon might have a memory,
Yes.
yeah? And then saying keeping it. Well, I try to keep everything.
Yeah.
That's a hoarder or a crafter.
It's a crafter. Let's keep it as a crafter.
Yeah, so this is a way of showing Jason that I keep everything for a reason.
Yeah, well, my mum, God rest her soul, passed on now, but she was a seamstress, and the amount of things that she could make.
And I got that box off her.
Yeah, I know. We donated that to you because we wanted it to go to somebody that understood.
Yeah.
And I just remember going into my mum's little sewing room. She had a the proper wooden table with the sewer, the singer.
Yeah.
Singer?
Yes,
Singer
yes.
sewer. And there was just tubs and tubs of zips, of buttons, of buckles, of belts, of threads, of press studs. And no matter what you did, as a kid, you obviously, I've ripped my T-shirt, gone. Next minute, done.
Yeah.
But it was done in a fancy way that it wasn't just stitched. It was done as if she deliberately ripped one side and made it match.
Yeah.
And obviously, God bless Michelle, they were saying that when I proposed, my mum and my auntie, who were both seamstresses together, they made Michelle's wedding dress.
Yeah,
they individually sewed everything on it. And my mum, that was cursing. She's like, at the end of the day, she's like, my fingers are bleeding.
Yeah.
But the wedding dress was
Beautiful.
100% unique.
Yeah, yeah.
And when mum died, Michelle said, what do we do with all of this whole thing? And I went, well, I'm not going to throw it away. I said, we need to donate it. And then Michelle went, Donna. And I went, do you know what? A perfect thing. And I do see that when I go and have a look. As I say, I know you use it.
You look round and you're like, I recognise that.
I recognise that. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So let's touch on the other things that you do, which is
Right.
obviously very, very, very good. But also, let's just talk about it.
Let's have a talk about this. Right, so can you zoom in on that?
We will do, yep.
Yeah. So that's Shirley. She's my mascot.
Right.
For the kick, which is So Happy to Help.
Yeah.
And these flyers go in bags when I've donated things, and it shows other things that we do as well.
Yeah.
I say we because I have volunteers as well, so
Yes,
I'm
you
not
do.
royal.
No.
It's not the royal way. So it shows people other things that we make and donate, and then there's a little, I call them thumbprints. What's it called?
QR code.
A QR code, just in case someone's feeling generous and wants to donate the price of a cup of coffee.
No,
'Cause
absolutely.
every penny counts.
No, exactly. So if we just go through these things, with
Yeah.
your glasses on, you've got something called a laundry bag.
Right, so the laundry bag. People donate bedding.
Yes.
They donate bedding.
We've just donated a
You did.
bucket load of
You
stuff.
did. So I get duvet covers and pillowcases,
Yes.
and the duvet covers are great because that's what we make the catheter bag covers out of. And this is the catheter bag cover. Ah. So that's out of the duvet. But then
And obviously that really is nice of people because it's not nice. My mum used to have a catheter bag.
Yep.
And it wasn't the fact that she was wearing the catheter bag. That didn't bother her.
No.
It was the look.
Yeah.
And she wanted to have it or wanted to not show. And we, before we knew you, she made herself one of these.
Yeah. Because people judge.
Of course
If you're
they
in
do.
hospital and you've got a catheter bag and people come in, they're like, oh, that's a bit dark,
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing for people.
Of course
So
it is.
with these covers, everything's hidden.
Absolutely.
So, so that was the original that was made on the sew along.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I said, I'm keeping the first one.
Yes, of course.
So they're out the duvet covers, but then I'm left with pillowcases.
Right.
And I'd gone and taken some stuff to St. Teresa's, and I said, is there anything else that you want me to make? And she gave me a list, and one of them was laundry bags.
Right.
So my little head was pillowcases.
Yes.
So it starts as a pillowcase,
Yeah.
like this. Huzzah.
That's just a standard pillowcase. I can confirm that.
And with a snip and a stitch and a big smile, it
comes a
a
bag.
laundry bag. So they are for St. Teresa's, and that's basically so when the families come and visit, they've just got somewhere to pop the washing in.
Yeah.
And
Take
off
it
they
away.
go.
Off it goes.
So so
That's very nice. So
those.
we touched on the catheter bags.
Yeah.
The mastectomy shower belts.
I haven't got those.
That's
with
okay,
me.
but just explain.
Right, so if a lady has had a mastectomy or someone's had a what do you call them? Colostomy bags
Yep.
and things like that.
Yep.
They have tubes to drain the fluids out.
Yes.
And at the end of the tubes, there's bottles.
Yes.
So while they're in the bed and they're just sat, that's fine. But when they go to get a shower,
Yep.
it's like, where do you put them?
Yes.
You can't wash your hair and hold these. So I made a little belt that's adjustable, and it has 2 little pockets on, which are out of a shower curtain, for people to put their bottles in.
Yes.
So they can
They
get
can shower.
washed
Fantastic.
and showered. So that was those,
Oh,
and they
that's-
get donated.
Exactly.
All these things get donated.
Oh, of course they do. That's what the kick's all about.
Too much time on my hands.
And you're 6 days a week.
Indeed. So this one, this is a morphine driver bag.
Goodness me, right, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a very long
Yeah.
shoulder.
It's a messenger bag, so it goes across the body,
Oh, I'm with you, right, okay.
and it's adjustable.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I went and I spoke to the nurse about laundry bags, and she gave me a list, she'd said to me, do you think you could make a messenger bag for the morphine drivers? So again, didn't have a clue what she
No.
was on about.
No.
So between me and her, we designed this for patients that have these morphine drivers. So a lot of people, they can't take tablets, especially at the end, because they can't keep
Yeah.
them down.
No, of course.
So they end up with a morphine driver. So they're still getting the painkiller, but it's through the driver.
I'm with you.
It's pumped into
Yeah,
them.
yep.
Again, they can't really be mobile.
No.
So with one of these, the morphine driver actually
Oh, bit of Velcro
goes
there,
in,
goes into
and
that.
it's just the right size, because the nurse said she didn't want it big, so the morphine driver was moving about, because they're $1.5 each.
Oh, my goodness me.
Yes, I had to make sure it wasn't going to snap.
Definitely.
So yeah, so I
and
made
what's that
those.
made out of, Donna?
So I have a new friend, she's called Julia, and she has a company called the Big Little Duvet Company.
Right.
And she donates all of her remnants to me.
Oh, isn't that nice? Thank you very much. Yes, very good.
So she donates all that. So, such as the messenger bags are all made out of Julia's fabrics,
Right.
as well as the wheat bags, because she gives me things that are like 100% cotton. So
of
everything's
course, yeah, yeah.
breathable
Yeah.
and microwavable. So I get a big bag full of remnants from her every month. And together we're recycling.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's wonderful.
It is.
And I've left the one that is the last one, which is the snuggle bag.
I haven't brought her.
No. But
No,
just
because she makes
explain.
me cry.
I know, but
She
it's a
makes me
wonderful...
cry.
the reason I'm talking about it, because I actually think it's a very, very beautiful thing that you do.
Yeah. Right.
No crying.
Should I shove a tangtastic now?
Shove a
Let's have a
tangtastic in.
tangtastic.
Absolutely. This is just to help, because...
Yeah. So I'm very, very, very... I'm a crybaby.
You are.
As you know, I cry at everything.
Quite the slightest thing,
I
bless you.
do, and it's all part of a condition.
Yes, it
and
is.
My youngest's exactly the same, and she curses me for it.
Yeah. However, these help you.
Yeah. So if you are going to do something like the awards,
Yes.
yeah, and you know that you're going to be under pressure and
Yes.
you know you're going to cry, I did lots and lots of research into it, because I knew I'd been, what's the word? Put in for the awards.
Yes, I nominated, darling.
Yes,
Nominated.
I'd been nominated for various awards, and I was a runner-up. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this.
No.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
So for about a month, I researched different ways of not crying.
Yes.
So I hate sherbet. It is just the most horrible.
Horrible.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. If you feel like you're going to cry and you instantly get something that you don't like, it triggers your brain.
Well, there you go.
Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah, right,
So,
so-
go for it. Now for that, explain what the snuggle bag is.
Oh, my God. So, the nurse that came to me about the catheter bags.
bags, right.
Yeah. She'd been coming a few times. And she was really upset. I said, what's the matter? And I said, do you want to talk? And she went, my niece has just lost twins.
Oh, bless.
And she said she'd sent me a picture. I went, right. And she went, it was 2 little bear carcasses on. She said they didn't even dress them.
Oh, right. Okay.
And yeah.
Obviously, it took you.
It did. It really, really got me.
Yeah.
And being a dolly tailor, I've actually made things for little ones.
Yes, of course you have. Yeah.
Premature and all the rest of it. And I thought, do you know what? No, that just should never happen at all. No little baby should be, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just awful. Anyway, so I decided I would make a cuddle in a bag.
That's why it's called a snuggle bag.
So it's called a snuggle bag. And I have a picture.
With another thin print on it. QR code.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, I thought that was like a bit tacky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so all it says is, I made you this because I care.
Oh.
And then it says, snuggle bags made by Donna G. And the snuggle bags are donated to various hospitals. So should there be a little one that doesn't make it, the baby's handed over in one of my snuggle bags.
Which is really nice thing. And as I say, I wanted to talk about it because I think it's a really lovely thing that you've done.
Yeah.
And as you've said, because I've, bless, I have heard the story before.
You have.
To have that child handed to you just like it is, it's awful.
It is.
Where at least that must bring, joy, happiness.
It does.
At a very sad time.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. I love the fact that you're doing that as well.
Yeah.
And they become very popular.
Yes. So they're quite sacred.
They are.
I don't ask anybody. I don't want anybody else to do it. So this is just me. It's not the volunteers. So
because it is very personal.
Yeah. So yourself and Michelle bought me a lot of fabric as well, and I start with the piece of cloth, and it's all cut for the snuggle bag, and then I also cut a hanky.
Right.
That's next to it.
Yeah.
So it's all sewn up, and the hanky has the same ribbon, the same lace. It was all once upon a time.
All right, I'm with you, yeah.
So at the bottom of the snuggle bag, it's like a cone.
Yes.
With the bottom chopped off.
Yes, I can see
I
that, yeah.
turned that bottom bit into a mini snuggle bag.
Right.
So when the parents say goodbye, they've actually always got part of the snuggle bag. And, nearly.
Nearly. Have another sweet, quick.
Have a peg.
Have a peg.
There we go. Right, so they've always got something that belong together.
Of course.
And I don't know if that makes sense to everybody else, but my fizzy little head just went, that's needed.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have, unfortunately, got to say goodbye, but then they've got something that will always be there.
Yeah, they've always got an attachment.
No, that's lovely.
So, yeah, so I make them from little £1, I call them sugar babies. They're so small.
Yeah.
From little tiny babies to 11-pounders.
Right, yeah.
And I try and make as many as I can. However, you can never make enough.
Bless. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a lovely, lovely, lovely thing to do. So one of the things that I want to come on to, and obviously it's called Take a Break.
Yeah.
In terms of, again, forgive me, your head. Do you use tech a lot, or is it very, do you shy away from tech and is everything just written on pieces of paper or whatever? Literally, what do you do?
I scribble.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen little scribble things.
Yeah, they're all over. Yeah. So, no, I just scribble on things.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not techie. Jason is. So I don't have to. I've not had to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
However, as you know, I've started to try and do social media.
I know. That's where we help you.
Indeed. So I've got the social media side of it. Well, I am trying. I don't always succeed, but I give it a go.
Oh,
where
sorry,
before,
we're lovely.
Yeah. I just let
but
Jason
you know
do
as
it
well
all.
as I do, with obviously Jason being on that side and we and Adam, Adam and myself being on that side, you have got to talk about these things.
Yeah.
And you, obviously the reason why I invited you on the podcast was we need to let more people know about these things because it's a lovely thing that you do, as well as passing on your knowledge, as well as doing the things like the snuggle bags and the laundry bags and the mastectomy bag. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and you're offloading that knowledge for other people to continue. And that must be lovely as well, to actually see these other people doing all of your work, regardless of whether it's clothes for themselves, the young lady who's making the bag, or the beautiful things that you make here.
Yeah. So I try and go out into the community looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
And for quite a while, on a Saturday morning, I was based at Darlington Library.
Yes.
And volunteers could come along and help. And, well, they would learn how to make them. And then they would take a donated duvet cover away with them.
Right.
And sew them at home if they could already sew.
Yes, of course.
But then I had people come in that couldn't sew. So it's
Yes.
like, here is a pair of scissors, just cut on the lines.
Yeah, yeah.
And, so I go out and about in the community looking for people to help.
Well, I remember that you did something downstairs here at Darlington, and Michelle even had a little go.
Oh, she's good though.
She said she's no good, but I'm like, no, you're good.
Yeah.
So she did a little bit of sewing for you as well. Yeah. And are you finding, obviously, how long have you been here now? Sorry, you said?
Since beginning of November.
Last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
2.5 months.
Goodness me, right, so it's not long.
No, not at all.
Have you found that your reach, your knowledge, is it growing all the time? I.e., in 6 months' time, am I going to see you at the top of here in your tower with a whole huge office?
This sounds awful. Billy no mates.
What, talking about Jason?
Yeah. Nobody knows I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had a few people knock on the door.
Yeah.
And then I instantly go, oh, God, what have I done now?
Because that's who you are, yeah, bless you.
Do you do curtains?
Yes.
I'm like, yes, I need curtains. I'll get back to you. And so I don't know who they were. They're there 1 minute and gone the next.
Yeah.
But I've not actually met anybody. So doing this,
Yes.
hopefully others in the building will find out.
Well, I have
there.
noticed that there are some leaflets appearing in each of the kitchens.
My handmade leaflets.
They're beautiful.
So I'd stuck them all around.
Yes, and then you thought...
One of my students come and she went, beginners has an E in it. And I was like, what? And she went, you've got big inners. And I went...
It's just you, though, darling.
I just went, well.
It's just what will we love about you.
Yeah, so I literally just found out last week. Well,
Yeah.
no, this week. It's
Yeah.
Friday today.
Friday,
yeah. So we found out that I can put flyers on the notice boards.
Yeah.
So, so I went round and I made some basically saying sewing lessons, age 8 to 80, all levels, with the phone number. So then I come back down and I thought, do you know what? If they were 3D, they'd be more noticeable.
Absolutely.
So I found a bag of pink foam flowery
You
hearts.
did.
Stuck sellotape on them, like double-sided, ran back up and stuck a big flower on all of them.
And
so
it looks
now
nice.
they are 3D.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't help but notice them.
Exactly.
And that's the whole reason for it.
So they're all in the kitchen, so while the kettle's boiling and people are looking around, it's there.
It's there. Well, I've seen it, and certainly I've noticed it, so that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, that's been a fantastic. Thank you so much. The journey that you've taken us through has been fantastic.
Yeah.
You didn't cry, so that's a good thing. You can take your peg off now. And as you know, we end each episode with, what are you doing for the weekend, apart from working?
Do you know I'm not working this weekend?
What? Hang on
Yeah.
a minute. Is this your Sunday off?
It is.
Oh,
it
my
is.
Lord. So what plans have we got?
Oh, well, I might just stay in my pyjamas. And just enjoy a Sunday. Maybe do a Sunday roast because I don't do those anymore.
No, you don't have time. When do
I
you
don't.
When do you find time to do anything other than sew?
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
And then even when I have time, I sew because it's a hobby as well.
Well, you've always said if it's your hobby, you don't feel as though you're working. You feel as though you're playing all
I
day.
do. I just play all day. It's
No,
great.
but it's been
Yeah.
lovely. It's been
So,
lovely.
Yeah, but being in like a business building,
Yes.
I would like to promote gents alterations.
Well, there you go.
So that's where I trained in first. So I would rather do gents than ladies. Even though I can do both.
Yes, you can.
I prefer gents.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got a broken zip, the trousers are too long, the jacket's too big, the sleeves are too long, come and see me
Yeah.
and I'll put a couple of stitches in and make you look smart.
Well, there you go. So there's a little bit of advertisement for you as well.
very much.
No, I think. Well, this weekend is huge for me. As you know, we do a lot of stuff for Heritage Chart Radio for Mike Reed.
Yeah.
We've just announced that we've managed to tease and bring out of, I won't say retirement, but as of next Sunday, we're having a Sunday show with the one and only Dave Lee Travis.
How amazing is
So
that?
he actually phoned me yesterday. I
he
was like,
really?
oh my God, I came off the phone with Dave Lee Travis. That was fantastic. So I had a lovely chat with him. So we're getting all of his tech studio pulled up together and worked out how to get his show. As of Monday, we're doing a brand new relaunch. We've got some new people coming on board. So this weekend is going to be manic for me.
Yeah.
But But
So
it's all a
while I'm
good thing.
chilling, you won't be.
I will not be chilling, not at all. So it's
No.
going to be a manic weekend for us. But no, that's fine. So so that's Sunday. Saturday, you're going to out for a meal. Is Jason treating you? Anything like that?
Do you know, I don't know.
I will have a word.
We haven't made any plans
I will
yet.
text him after this show saying, take Donna out for lunch on Saturday as a
That
treat.
would be good.
I'll do that for you.
Send him a text.
Send him a text. What's that?
Yeah.
Well, yet again, Donna, thank you so much.
Thank you
so
for
the
having
last
me.
thing is, how can your phone is going mad over there?
Is it?
It is. It's good news it's on silent, but it's literally just constantly ringing. Last thing, how can people find you, get hold of you, and contact you?
Right, so I'm on Facebook. So you would go to Donna Gurney,
Yep.
and
We'll put all of these in the thing as well.
and I've got a website, so
Which is
people
called?
could email me. So I've got smampyscorner.co.uk.
Smampy.
With a mam in the middle of
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. So smampyscorner.co.uk, and I've got sohappytohelp.co.uk.
SEW, happy
Yeah.
to help.co.uk. And what's the email address?
Donna@smampyscorner.co.uk and Donna@sohappytohelp.co.uk.
.co.uk. And we'll put all of those things on the episode of the
Yeah.
podcast. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Donna. Thank you
has.
so
No, thank you.
so much.
Indeed.
Alina, stop laughing at my dad jokes. So thank you so much. It's been really, really, really pleasing.
thank you.
Honestly, it's been absolutely fantastic. Well, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Bye now.